Hey everybody, I'm gonna turn this thing sideways. It's telling me to rotate it up the other way. Okay, there we go. Finish. Cancel. Okay. Somehow they took my live feed off Facebook. Anybody else have that problem? It really sucks. I had an event set up over there, and for some reason they've taken the live button away. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to do the same thing here on YouTube today. I'm hoping I can get some people to show up. Yeah, it kind of twerks my butt that they did that, but what can you do? They're the man, you know. Okay. Have I got anybody in here with me yet? It looks like I have 0. So I'll wait a few minutes and see if I can get some of my folks to move over here. The topic for today on Facebook was how to get to your bug out location. Say your vehicle goes down, the grid goes down, all that stuff. How are you going to get to your bug out location? So, as I would keep doing my research into what happens when SHTF happens, is that you're going to have a bug out bag, your Bob. I'm finding out through my research. I'm eating a popsicle, by the way, so just to go with it. So what I'm finding through my research is this: is you want your Bob to be kind of light. So if you're going to your bug out location, whether it be your house or another area, you want your Bob to be light enough so that you can get there without wearing yourself out. So through the research I've done, is you want to have supplies at your bug out location. So say you're going to stay at your bug out location, hey, that's super. That means all your preps are already there. So if you have another location you're going to try to get to, then what you want to do is not have all your preps in one spot in your bug out location. Say the crap hits the fan, everybody's going haywire, so if they find your bug out location, they're going to take all the stuff that you have there. So what you want to try to do is use sealed up Mylar bags or Tupperware, plastic containers with stuff in them, and you want to bury them so nobody finds them. So somebody has shown up. Let's see what we got here. Let me get closer to my camera. Always easy. Hey, how you doing? We're talking about how you want to get to your bug out location. Say the grid goes down, maybe an EMP takes out your vehicle. So you want how to get there, what you want to have when you get there, all that stuff. That's sort of where I'm headed. As I had a live podcast set up on Facebook, but for some reason Facebook took my live button away. Maybe I pissed them off or whatever. So I came over here to YouTube, thought maybe I could entice some of those folks over here and just go ahead and continue the live podcast. Maybe I could bring in some of my YouTubers as well, and we'll have a group big enough to discuss it. So what I'm talking about is if you're going to go to your bug out location, make sure that your Bob, your bug out bag, is light enough that it's not going to wear you out, and that you're still going to have enough stuff in it to get there. You're going to have your items in there like your first aid kit, your weaponry. Like I don't like to talk about the weapons because everybody is starting to get all freaked out about it, but I have a CHL, so I always have a weapon with me, so that doesn't bother me at all. But you need to make sure that's in your Bob, and you have enough stuff to either get home where your bug out location is or to get to wherever your bug out location is. If your bug out location isn't where your house is, you want to make sure that your preps are secure there. Because when all hell breaks loose, what are they going to do? They're going to find your bug out location and they're going to steal your preps. So, yeah, I'm eating a popsicle. I'm trying to take a bite. I guess I should do it before it melts. Anyway, that's where I'm at, and I'm trying to get people educated into the line of thinking of keeping your bob as light as possible, but still having what you need at your BOLs. So, if you guys have any thing to input, feel free to jump in anytime, because I don't know everything. I'm just trying to teach what I know. Oh, I'm going to lose it because it's melting. Another thing is just because your vehicle goes down or whatever doesn't mean that you can't go back to it at a later time. So you want to secure your vehicle before you take off on foot. Now, we all know that if they want in your car, they're actually going to get in there. I'm not stupid. I'm not thinking that you're stupid either, but still secure your vehicle so that at a later time you may be able to come back and get it. Good popsicle. So, excuse me. I don't have my bob out here because everything was going to be in the house. I just kind of jumped out here as a last minute ditch effort because they took my live feed away. So, what I do have in my bob though is kind of lightweight stuff. I have a first aid kit. I have a tarp in there, a small one, and I have some paracord, and a hunting knife is in there as well, along with some MREs and stuff like that to keep me going. And you want to try to have at least your MREs, you want to at least have 1,000 calories because that'll keep you going day to day. What do you have in your bob? Because from the research I've done is everybody overthinks what they put in there. I was the same way when I started. Okay, always. Let me know in the back. Hang some clothes up for me too, will ya? It doesn't look like I'm having many people follow me over from Facebook, but that's okay. We'll just start from scratch. I'll start advertising that I'll have my live podcast over here at YouTube instead of on Facebook. They took the live button away. I don't know what that's from, but we'll work around it and try to get everything going back on a different track. My next project I'm going to be doing on YouTube, I'm going to take a plain axe and I'm going to make it into a battle axe. And I'm going to make it so it's easier to handle and it'll fit in a bob. As it is right now, it's a little bit too long. It would have to be carried on the outside of my bug out bag. And then you wouldn't be able to be the gray man. Glad to see that you're here. Thanks for coming. I'm having a popsicle while you're hanging out your clothes. Anyway, as I was saying, it's too big to fit in the bug out bag, so I'm going to shorten the handle. I'm going to cut this up like this and then down at the angle like this. And then I will finish this all off. I'll sharpen the edge. And then I want to put some sort of decoration on there, septic, or maybe they have prepper signs that we can use to let everybody know what you have on you, what you're willing to do as a prepper. So maybe I'll put those signs on there and make it kind of dress up and make it kind of cool looking, but also functional at the same time. So that's going to be one of my projects coming up. It's on the list of things to do for my YouTube videos. It should come out looking pretty cool. Also, I had an external mic that I bought. I'm trying to upgrade the stuff that I have for my technical end of my videos, but my phone, I dropped it and busted the back of it, and I think it messed up my jack for my mic. How's everybody's Sunday going? The bug out location thing is make sure that you have a light enough bob. Don't overburden yourself with the weight. Make sure you have just enough in there to get you from point A to point B. And even if you have to stop along the way, figure it out, map it out, and make sure that you put maybe some preps stored along the way so that you're still got a light pack, but if it takes you longer than one day to get where you're going, then maybe along the way you could have some stuff stashed that you could get to and still stay overnight. Say just have some food buried in the ground or something. Have your own little map made out where you know where the location is, because over time things get moved around, you know, buildings move and whatnot, and you want to be able to find what you buried. And also make sure it's about 2 feet deep so that if people do start digging around, they really won't find it. It's pretty high odds that they'll find what you buried. They would have to know what it is. What do you got in your bob? I've made mine pretty light. It started out being really heavy, but after doing this for a while, I have learned to keep it light so you don't wear yourself out. You got any questions, concerns you need to have answered? Yeah, we all do that. We keep it heavy, and that's because it's our human mind letting everything work. That's my feelings anyway, is we start putting it in there and thinking, well, I need this, and you just keep adding to it. That's where you have to rethink everything and possibly have some stuff stored buried or in a location with a lock on it or something like that, so that as you're going to your bug out location, you can pick up things along the way. Or that's my thinking anyway. I don't know. That's why the podcast is try to get everybody's thoughts. Neighbor's dog's having hell out there. I had to move podcast out here into my man space, and so the dog next door is causing hate and discontent. You got the first aid in your bob, right? First aid kit, water. I carry a small tarp, about it's a 4x8, because I found that if you try to shove a tent in there and then you start shoving other stuff in there, you know, lanterns and stuff, it gets way too big, way too cumbersome. So I carry it kind of light, and then my plan is to put stuff along the way. I plan on staying in my home as long as I can, but we may be forced out. It's just how it may be. So I have another location, some property, and it's in a pretty desolate location. So my son and I, we go there and we work on the property, and we create little caches that we can have outside the property. And what happens is we put stuff in there. I've learned from watching other YouTube videos and talking to other people that it's easier to just put it in like a Tupperware or some sort of container that is airtight, moisture can't get to it, and then we put it into a location, we bury it in the ground. Actually, that's what we do. I don't like to give away all my secrets, but we bury it in the ground. What we have done is we make a hole big enough, and I frame some wood in there, and then we line the wood with plastic, and then we seal it all up, and we put the dirt back in on top, so that if we have to go to that location down the road, then we can get there and we don't have to worry about people having stole our stuff. And I just learned that over time, and it works out pretty well for us. It's far enough away that it would take me a couple of days to get there on foot. So I go there during the summer months. My son and I, when he's not in school, go there in the summer months, and we work on the location itself, the shelter that we're building ourselves, and then we dig up the locations. This is how I teach my son to orientate. Sort of, and we get out our little homemade map, and we find where we're going to dig. We dig up the preps, and we look at them, make sure they're all still good. If they're not, then we take them out and we replace with good stuff, and then we rebury them. And that's pretty much it. And it keeps us always looking for better ways to do things. So I hope all this stuff I'm telling you helps you a little bit. Keep your bob light. Keep a tarp in there for sure. I mean, you can buy little ones, and I don't make a lot of money. I'm on disability, so I don't have a lot of money, but I can still buy stuff that would keep me going. A tarp, you can get a tarp at a dollar store, $1 plus store. And they're pretty inexpensive. Even if you go to Walmart and get one, they're pretty inexpensive. I think 4x8, even at Walmart, it's only about $3 or $4, so that's pretty cheap. And you can roll it up and stick it inside your backpack, and it doesn't really take up that much room. And also with the first aid kit, What I really did on the first aid kit was I buy the first aid kit, and then if you're anything like me, you go through it and you find that it doesn't have half the stuff that you want in there. So what I do is I go out to dollar stores or whatever, or look at the sale papers and stuff, and I pick up stuff having to do with first aid, like bandages, gauze, pain relievers and stuff like that. You can get them on sale, and then I just have been building my own first aid kit from a first aid kit. So it has some of the basics in there, but I found that I just keep adding to it. What has really happened is I've gone from having a first aid kit to having a half-assed trauma kit. So because it has things like sutures in there and iodine and stuff that you don't really find in a first aid kit. So I just slowly look at it. I go through it from time to time, and I say, hey, I think I need this, and that's what I put in there, So that's basically how I do it, and I've talked to a lot of people, and that's how they do it too. So that's just something that you could think about. I don't think any of my friends from Facebook are going to make it over here. I will have to start drilling on them during the week and make sure that they come over here next week for the podcast. I will also try to get my YouTubers trained to come and listen to me babble on also. Maybe we can start getting a special day like I do Sundays on Facebook, and I always do them at noon Mountain Time. So I might just start doing that over here on YouTube, and then I get my subs to start coming to the podcast here, and then maybe the Facebook people will just kind of dribble in. So that's exactly what I'm going to try to do, and try to keep the every once a week thing going so that everybody can learn. We can learn from each other and get ideas of how I do it, how you do it, stuff like that. Talk shit, a lot of talk shit, because I like to do that. How about you guys? I see there's a couple of people in here. What do you think? Could be a short podcast. Nobody wants to talk. Let's see, 23 minutes in, and I'm the only one talking besides always has got some stuff to say, but next week I'll have it better planned out. Start doing them on YouTube. Live TV got taken away on Facebook, or at least for me it did. I don't know what's with that. Maybe Facebook security has decided that they don't want people talking to each other live. Something like YouTube's taking away the monetization button, they got too big for their britches. You have to watch what you say, and you have to watch what you do, but yeah, you just kind of learn with it. That's what they do, censorship. So what's everybody doing today? I'll show you again. We're going to make a war axe out of it. I picked this up at a garage sale, so I thought I would just tinker around with it and make a war axe out of it. That way I may shorten the handle up a little bit and do some artwork on it. take this and cut it a little bit up like this and down, make it look kind of Waraxy, and refinish the head of it, put some design on there, and make it so it'll just fit right in my bob, you know. That way I can make a video of it, let you guys see the process. I also have a Patreon page, and if you look at my library, you'll see that I made a holster for my Jeep. And so I put that video over on Patreon, and if you want to see how I made the darn thing, and possibly you can do the same thing, make your own for your vehicle, then you can go over to Patreon and check it out. That's www.patreon.com /Shutterboy 2016, and that was just URL, and when you get in there, you'll see it says just-in-time prepping. So kind of pulled the wool over everybody's eyes. It's getting pretty tough out there. They're coming down on preppers pretty hard. Pull these little tricks to try to keep them off our butts. How about you guys, your bobs? About what do you guys have for weight in your bob? Hey, I want to say hi to that other person that jumped in here. I usually have a live feed on Facebook, but they took the live button away from me, so here I am. I'm going to start doing it on YouTube. Doesn't take much for you guys just to click a button and come over here instead. Take a little bit of your time and come over here and talk to us over here for a little bit, and then go back to your Facebook end. I do the same thing, you know. I scroll through Facebook same as I do YouTube, and just take a 30, 45 minutes out of your day and come chit chat. I have, for you guys that are on YouTube, I have a Facebook group. It's facebook.com /just-in-time prepping. So if you're interested, you can come over there and hit the join button. I'll be glad to approve you guys. I also want to tell you guys while I'm here on YouTube is when I get to 100 subscribers, we're going to have what I call a survival bucket giveaway. So I'm at 56 or 57 subscribers right now, and when I get to 100, we're going to give it away. It's a survival bucket. It's got lots of goodies in it. It's worth $103.46 or something like that. So it's going to have some good stuff in there, and everybody will win. I'll win because I get subscribers. Somebody else will win because they get $103 worth of stuff that they don't have to buy themselves. Then I figured that when I get to 250, I'll do the same thing. I'll have another subscriber giveaway, and I'll make that bucket worth about $250. That's what I did with the 100 subscriber thing. Was I found something that was right around $100. It's a little over, but $2, $3 here and there. What the heck, you know. Anybody got anything to say? Spit it out now. You guys know anything about external mics? I bought one. It seemed to have worked on my video, but when I hooked it up to go live with it, it wouldn't work. So I don't know if when I dropped my phone, I broke the jack on my phone or I plug it in at, or whatever happened, but something happened that it won't work. So if you know what I'm doing wrong or whatever, I'd sure appreciate you letting me know. Wish everybody a happy late Veterans Day. If you're a veteran, I appreciate your service. Hey, Gene. Good to see you. They took the live button away over on Facebook. So I came over here on YouTube. Had a little better platform anyway. Yo, really? And I guess I'll probably just bring the podcast from Facebook over here on Sundays. So you can play that game. I don't understand. You got the live button on yours? Or did they just punish me? We were talking about the bug out location thing that we had scheduled on Facebook, and seems that everybody has a big bug out bag. Yeah, whenever you get a time, it's no biggie. I just rethought the situation, came over here on YouTube. It's not that big a thing. A lot of people don't like YouTube. We'll just keep hammering away until I get them over here. It's just for us, you know. It's just for the people in the group. I have a YouTube just-in-time prepping channel, so I'm trying to get them all work together. Also, I'm trying to set up Patreon, so I stay pretty darn busy hooking everything up. And if you notice now on Facebook, I got that the stickers that you can buy. I'm going to donate some of that money to charity, and then also the coffee mugs. And that the stickers, the charity is Make-A-Wish, and then the coffee mugs, I give some money to Wounded Warriors. So, you know, I believe that those people deserve a little extra money too, and everybody gets to kind of support me by stickers or coffee mugs or whatever, you know. I figure whoever wins the big survival bucket, I'll probably throw a coffee mug and a sticker into the deal there too. And what the heck, you know, it's I'm just a hell of a nice guy, I guess. I've been called an asshole, but I don't see it. Yeah. Say hi. Well, I got a like button, but they took away the live button. The live button would be over in the upper right-hand corner of your box, of your comment box. It used to just say live, but mine doesn't say live anymore. Yeah, I think they took it off. I'll check into it. I think some other friends, I'll talk to some other people, but it's okay. It's no big deal. I'll just do it over here on YouTube. Not that big a deal. I know one of my friends was telling me, I grew up with him, he was telling me that Facebook contacted him and asked him if my group was informative or not. So maybe they're just checking me out. I'm just trying to educate people. I'm not trying to create any hate or discontent. I just want people to know what to do if a disaster hits, you know. What's wrong with that? I'm not trying to get them to chase down the zombie apocalypse or anything. Just trying to teach them what to do in case of a disaster. I got forced out into the garage today. The little woman's doing cleaning in the house. She said she was not stopping just because I was going to go live. So I'm forced out here into the man part of the world, my man area. It's where I do all my videos and stuff for YouTube. I do them out here in my man area. Next video is going to be axe. I'm going to make it into a cool looking axe. War axe, I guess. That'll be my next video on YouTube, or one of my videos. Maybe not the next one, but one of my videos. Keep pushing down my shirt. It's a new shirt, and I'm not really sure if I like it or not. So, how's everybody this fine Sunday morning? Afternoon, wherever you're at, I suppose. I'm feeling pretty darn good. Temperature here is around 38. That's what the thermometer says on the wall. So it's not quite cold enough to snow. That's a good thing. So if you're not from Facebook and you're in here listening, I'm going to start doing my videos that I was doing on Facebook. I'm going to start doing them here on YouTube. And it'll be on Sundays. It'll be at noon Mountain Time. And we'll all just get together here for 30 or 45, 60 minutes, something like that. Talk about survival and how to prepare for it. Flip each other some crud and make sure that everybody's happy when they leave. Did you hear the dog? Neighbor's dog's not very happy. So anyway, well, you guys are waiting for somebody to talk, whatever. What I'm trying to tell everybody is make sure that your bob is light when you're going to be bugging out to your bug out location. The research is starting to show that a lot of people are overthinking and they're making their bobs way too heavy, and they're finding that they can't get to point A to point B because they just have too much weight that they're carrying around. And my thing is this, and this is only my opinion, you guys can have your own, is make your bob as light as possible. Even if you're gonna say your EMP and your car goes down, whatever, you have to grab your bob out of the back and you have to hit it to get either to a bug out location other than your house or get back to your house. Make sure your bob is fairly light. Carry just the bare necessities in there. If it's going to take you longer than one day to get to your bug out location, make sure that you have some preps along the way stashed away, whether it's in a locked building or whether you have to stash it somewhere or dig a hole and bury it, whatever. Just make sure that your bug out bag isn't too heavy and you'll be able to get where you're going. They're saying, the research I've been reading is saying that people are overthinking and they make their backpacks way too heavy and they can't get from point A to point B because they bog themselves down. So the thing I'm getting to is that you just ad lib. Make sure that you have something along the way that you can stop and get. I mean, if it's a real bad disaster, you may not be able to stop at the 7-Eleven or or at Walmart or whatever and get what you need. I mean, those places might not be available. That's just something that you have to think about. So you may have to have something stashed. And that stashed could mean a lot of things. It could be a storage unit that's locked up, or it could be a hole in the ground that you've sealed your preps up in to make sure that they're going to be safe, and that you've backfilled it in, and only you and maybe one other person knows where it's at, so nobody's going to steal your stuff. Also, if your bug out location is not going to be at your house, make sure that your bug out location is going to be secure. And that means that don't leave your preps there for other people to find and take. Make sure that you have them in a location somewhere in your area that you can get to. Yeah, we all have to, Gene. The research is, they pay people for research for a reason. That's why I'm telling you to make sure that you have preps along the way that you can get to that other people don't know about. And you still have what you need, but fuck them, Excuse my French. Well, it looks like I don't have a lot of people here today, but hopefully we will do better in the future. I will start announcing my podcasts on Facebook to come here instead of there, since they're going to screw around with me. And then I have 56 or so people on YouTube that are following me, that have subbed me, and I will let them know where I'll be at. So this is going to be the new thing for just-in-time prepping. I'm going to be on YouTube every Sunday at noon Mountain Daylight Time, or Mountain Standard Time, whatever, noon Nebraska time, because that's where I live, is Nebraska. So I'll be here every Sunday from now on, and we'll always have a discussion on how to prepare for when something goes wrong. Some sort of disaster. It's not going to be the zombie apocalypse. Trust me, it won't be about zombies. But it will be of how to survive a disaster of some sort. Whether it be war, or a hurricane, or tornado, earthquake, whatever. We're just going to get together. We're going to discuss what has to be taken care of. Yeah, they took the button away. Oh well. I'd appreciate it if you just come over here on YouTube on Sundays. It's just a small portion of your time. I appreciate you coming because I like talking with you. Bring some of your friends with you next time. Facebook's kind of getting hammered on right now by the Senate and whatnot, so they may be changing the way they do things. I kind of look at it like censorship. What happened to our freedom of speech? But I'm trying not to talk like that too much. I don't want them to take away everything I have. Sometimes I let stuff come out of my mouth that shouldn't. Hopefully we'll get the Facebook people and the YouTube people together here, and we can all have a giant discussion. Talk about the weather, talk about disasters. Just talk. That's how you meet people and get new friends. You get like-minded people together, and pretty soon shit happens. If you guys have a topic you want to talk about next week, let me know. How about you, Gene? What would you like to talk about? We talked about the bug out location. Let's talk about something else next week. What do you want to talk about? The weather? What part of the country do you live in? What kind of disasters go on there? Sure. Decatur, Illinois? Where the heck is that? I live in Scottsbluff, Nebraska. It's sort of like bumfucked Egypt, is how I look at it. I've lived here for about 2 years now. Before that, I lived in Everett, Washington, well, east of Everett, Washington for, I don't know, 35, 38, 40 years, something like that. Central Illinois. Okay, I'll look it up. I think next week we'll talk about first aid kits. How's that sound? See what everybody can come up with. I was saying earlier that my first aid kit has expanded into it's not really just a simple first aid kit anymore. It's closer to a trauma bag. I'll try to bring the stuff that I have in there so everybody can see it. Don't forget, I don't know if you YouTube or not, Gene, but you could subscribe to this channel and be entered into that super drawing. When I get to 100 subscribers, I'm going to give away what I call a survival bucket, but it's actually just a survival bucket. It's got all kinds of cool stuff in it to help you get through 3 days of a disaster anyway. Maybe 3, maybe it was 5 days. I'll have to look again. So if you don't, I know some people don't YouTube, but if you subscribe to the channel, you'll be entered into that drawing. Okay, 48 minutes, 22 seconds. What do you guys want? Talk to me. I've come a long ways. I've been doing this for almost a year. When I first got in front of the camera, I couldn't hardly talk at all. Now I probably talk too much. Okay, I'm going to wrap it up. Next week I will try to get everybody from Facebook to come over here. I'll get the other people from YouTube to come too, so we'll have a few people in here. Yeah, I hear you. I'll get some other people in here, don't worry. And next week we'll talk about what you have in your first aid kit, not about what you're going to do with it or whatever. But let's talk about what's in it and try to get everybody to supply their first aid kit with stuff that they're going to need for a disaster. Not for, say, you go camping and cut yourself and be able to fix that, but you go out and into a disaster and say you break your arm or you get this gaping gash that you can take care of. And we'll make that for next week. And then hopefully we'll get more people over here. And then I'll talk to you guys next week, okay? I really appreciate you coming over, Gene. And then next week I'll see you at the same time, okay? Till then, next time, guys, thanks for showing up.